Hello everyone, this is Silly Squirrel, and today's episode is going to be a little bit different. We got JohnnyBoi, Master Rein, and myself to just chat. We decided to talk about what we've been watching, Dragonball Z, a few things about Star Wars, what Master Rein's playing. We had a really good time doing this, and we hope that you guys enjoy this just as much as we did. Thank you, and enjoy the show. How many people can play Elden Ring co-op?
4, creo.
6.
6?
Yeah. The seamless co-op is 6.
6?
Yeah, the downside. The downside is that the bosses
and people are
get
complaining.
The bosses get buffed. The more people are in
you
there.
serious?
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, no wonder
dude,
people
that's
are complaining.
odd.
No wonder people are like, oh my god, it's like extra hard. I mean,
Man, the bosses are like
from software.
Well, are you talking about just co-op, like in game, or the mod? Because the mod you can summon up to 3 people, I think.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was saying in general how like the discourse right now has been about how hard the DLC is, which
I haven't played it yet.
I find like, well, yeah,
dude.
it's a DLC.
Apparently,
from
some of the
software.
people
they do that.
apparently right, but apparently some of the people who were playing the DLC were playing it on like their like 5th game plus or whatever, like their 3rd game plus. You know what I'm saying? By accident, so they didn't even realize that they're already playing the game a little bit harder on the DLC. It's gonna be harder. So it was just, they were just working against themselves because they were, you know what I'm saying? And people didn't even realize that. Like one streamer was like, "Oh, I'm on like Kaisena was like on the 5th game plus," and he was like, "Why is it so hard?" He was on the 5th game plus. That's why it was so hard. It didn't have to be that hard for him.
But then, like, the game is as hard as you make it. Like, if you
Right,
restrict yourself and say,
Yeah.
"I'm not using spells. I'm not using magic, incantations.
Yes.
I'm not gonna use buffs." Like, like, okay, then don't complain. It's hard because you're like
Like when Master
limiting
Rein
yourself. Like, okay, don't do summons. I was like, okay, so the summons are in the game for a reason, obviously. And if you're complaining they're too hard, maybe use them. Like, summons do make boss
Like,
fights
I don't-
easier, but then like, yeah, it's
Summons do make the boss fight easier,
Complain to
but they don't
complain.
make them super easy. They just give them they just give you a chance.
well, yeah,
like,
they give
know,
you
like a
some
different
breathing room
chance,
because you
whatever,
have
like a
some
chance to-
something
breathing
else
room,
to
exactly.
take this, like
Yeah.
take the damage for you for like
Mhm.
2 seconds so you can heal. You know.
It's like the people who are like, "Oh, you can't use summons." It's like, and then they're like, "Oh, then you can't use spells," and then you have to like raw dog the boss with no armor on level 1. That's the only way to play the game for real. You got to be able to
Your strength,
you know,
player, dexterity build only. Like,
yeah, or you have to no, not even, dude. You have to like play the game like on your 3rd game plus on level 1 without ever leveling anything up to like be considered like good at the game. Like there's people like that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and it's just like that's like too much.
But again,
like,
if you
go
want
with
to play the game
forever,
like
but-
that, you
know what
play
I'm
the
saying?
game like that. Like, nobody else wants to play the game like that.
Exactly. Like what the like
I
I could like there's people who are like, "Oh, I played Elden Ring on like the D&D the what's it called? The Dance Dance Revolution pad."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I beat it like that. It's like good for you, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's not a requirement. They're like, well, you didn't beat the game if you didn't beat it like blindfolded. It's like, okay, fine, I didn't
Oh
beat the
my
game.
god, yeah.
or like, you
yeah,
didn't-
I didn't beat the game, all right,
Or
but
you
you know,
didn't beat the game if you-
the end, I got the title screen that said I was Elden Lord, so I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's like, am I
Or you
gonna?
didn't beat the game if you didn't use a Guitar Hero guitar.
Are you gonna tell me if I beat the game, or is the game gonna tell me if I beat the
Oh
game?
my god, right.
Yeah, that's why I kind of want to really do that seamless co-op run, just to bully everything in the game.
That'll be fun. Fun, I tell you.
Please stream it so we can all watch.
I know, that's what I'm trying to do.
I mean,
what
that's
we're
the
trying to
point.
do.
Yeah,
That's the
that'd be the point. That would be the idea right there.
Just getting the timing with Ray here.
Yeah.
When to do it.
Thankfully, we're only an hour apart, so I
didn't
think
you guys-
we'll be able to figure it out.
Well, yeah, anybody can join. They just have to basically roll a new character.
Yeah,
So,
make a new character. It should be the most sensible thing to do.
Damn.
Have a new run.
There's a way to
So
import
what'd you
it,
build?
but it's kind of cumbersome.
Oh, so should I do it, guys?
You know what I'm gonna say? If you want me to peer pressure you, I will.
I can find the game for cheap or somewhere.
Yeah, check the sites, the what's it called sites? The
Yeah,
key
Green
sites.
Man Gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Bound to
check
be
those
cheaper
out.
at that. I'm there on that.
I'll let you know later this week.
Yeah,
Because we can just pick a
about
day
it.
and then you can just join at your leisure.
Yeah, oh man. Yeah, I gotta at least try it out. Like, dude, you know, I have 8 hours on Bloodborne and I'm still on the first boss. Like,
Oh my
that
god.
should tell you more than enough. Yeah, man.
Wait,
Father
did you ever beat
Gascoigne was-
Bloodborne?
I just told you I spent my first 8. Like, I have
only
8
has 8
hours in the
hours
game
in
and
it.
I'm still on the first boss.
unless, you
I thought you were just-
unless you beat him in those 8
I thought
hours.
that was just like your most recent run or something. Then okay,
That's a hell of a speed run.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So
Look,
that's
look,
okay.
let me put it this way. Everything before Father Gascoigne, I am really good at. Like, I'm really good at that.
Oh
at that
my
part.
god. that's
Anything
funny.
after Father Gascoigne, I'm like, nah, bro.
Yeah, I know.
So like, I beat him. I beat Father Gascoigne. I figured out a way to beat him. It was very exhilarating. And then I go into the next part, and I think the next boss is the Feral Beast. I believe that's who it is. And so that broke me. It was like I tried so many ways.
Oh,
and
no.
I figured out like, oh, he likes blood. So you throw a vial of blood, so that attracts him. So, and nah, loco. Like, I know the game's running at 30 frames a second, but shit, man, like,
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I go through bouts where I try Souls games. I've tried Dark Souls multiple times. Bloodborne I go back to every single time because I love the lore and I love the world building, but the game, it's just not my type of game. Like, but it's
yeah.
good. I can definitely say it's good. It's just not.
I
my
think
type.
I like the gameplay because like I really like Monster Hunter, so similar.
Yeah.
True, that's true.
Exactly.
And I play a ton of Monster Hunter. I beat Millennia, but it took me 2 days. to do so.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Well, you know what's funny though? Like, you're a Monster Hunter guy.
yeah.
But Zapito, for the love of God, Zapito wouldn't even touch those games. I think Elden Ring he did like, though. Like, he loves Monster Hunter, but when it comes to, and I wish he was here, but when it comes to, like, Souls games, like, Elden Ring, I think, is the only Souls games he's been able to, like, play for a while. Anything else, he's like, nah.
Well, yeah. Elden Ring is my first Souls game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't played any other Souls game
Oh,
besides
interesting.
Elden Ring.
He gave me, I have his copy of Bloodborne. He's like, you can borrow it. I'm like, all right, cool.
I'm doing a new run right now. That way I can get into the DLC because I have a New Game Plus character, but I have no clue where I left off there.
Don't you love that in games?
Yeah, like
It's
it's
like, man, I can't wait to go back to The Witcher. Wait, what am I doing?
Oh
How
my
do you-
god, yeah.
these controls work?
start over. I don't know where I'm at. Like, that's why it took me forever to beat The Witcher because I had once started, and then like for some reason I stopped playing it, and then I came back to it, had no clue what I was doing, so I restarted all over again and finally beat it. But yeah,
I mean,
that's the problem with
yeah.
open world games. Like, if you leave it for too long, you forget what the heck you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
that's
with
why
Zelda,
I-
I go in it every once in a while just to remember what I'm doing. Just so I don't always forget, because, like, gosh, Zelda's huge, dude. Tears of the Kingdom is huge.
See, local Breath of the Wild took me a bit to beat.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
to force myself to beat it, basically. I couldn't do it. It's just like every time I went back, I was like, I don't remember what I'm doing. What are my objectives? And then, okay, so there's this, actually, since we're talking about Zelda, there's a YouTuber called King K. And he has 2 Breath of the Wild videos. And first one is how he didn't really like it. And he loves Zelda. His favorite Zelda is Wind Waker. And he really didn't like it. And then years later, he made a second one talking about the deconstruction of Zelda in Breath of the Wild. And he basically said that if you go in expecting an Ocarina of Time type games, so your Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, where it's a little linear to an extent, and you have the dungeons and stuff like that. Like, this is not the game. Like, this game is more about, okay, like, we remember all of that, but we want to try something new.
Yeah.
And so it's still Zelda, but it's forcing the player to play it in a different way. And when he explains his reasoning, because I'm not doing it justice, it clicked with me because I went in already, although I already knew that it was an open world, expecting what my expectations were of Zelda. And to this day, I'm still a bit disappointed, but I can see why people say it's a good game. I just didn't find the 4 flying beasts dungeons that memorable, or even the bosses.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Breath of the Wild, I agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he talks about that, and he goes, and the one thing he did mention that I was like, oh yeah, that's true. Is like, you can leave anytime. You can leave any of those beasts anytime and go do something else. And the fact that the game allows you to do that should tell you what the game's about. Where it's like kind of and then it came to like Elden Ring, and people saying like, if you go in expecting a Souls game, it's not that. It's different. And I think why people have been liking Elden Ring a lot more is actually the opposite. Because they're going in expecting Dark Souls and being forced to play it a certain way, when they realize that I have this boss is too hard, I'm going to go try what's over there,
Yeah.
And then you have a good time, and then you come back to that boss, and you're like, now I can kick your ass. It's like, oh my God, that was exhilarating, right? Instead of in Zelda, that's basically what they want in Breath of the Wild. Like, play it at your own pace. Take your time. Like, give yourself objectives. Go do things. Explore. Blah, 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 blah. But anyway, like, Breath of the Wild was one of the games that I had to, like, pick up multiple times because I would get lost, and I had to give myself objectives. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't want to cook.
Yeah.
I want to beat dungeons,
I want to fight. I don't want to have to worry about my, like,
I want to fight.
The health that I'm going to take into the fight. But yeah, you're right.
Quick shout out to my friend Hannah from work, where she basically went, Silly, you haven't beaten Breath of the Wild? I'm like, no. He's like, and you call yourself a gamer? I'm like, damn. I might beat that shit in a week.
Dude, that was rough.
Yeah.
Hit you where it hurts.
Every day she'd be like, so how are you doing? How far are you on? And
rough.
Yeah, she lit a fire on my ass, man. That's the only way I beat
Oh my
the
God, dude. Rough.
She a real G.
That's hilarious.
But I get where you're coming from, and like taking a while because you have to pick which quests you're gonna follow. Like in Breath of the Wild, like it, at least in Elden Ring, it's like it kind of comes to you as to where you're going and stuff like that, because it kind of leads you in a way, but it doesn't handhold you all the way through.
Yeah, which is, and I guess for certain players that is pretty liberating.
Yeah, because you could just like fuck around, fight some monsters and stuff like that, explore an area, beat a dungeon, get out of there. Breath of the Wild, some quests are a little bit more convoluted than others. Like, oh, you gotta grab this. You gotta go back to this other town and do this other thing and come back 5 days later. I remember there being a quest like that, like where you like clear out a town of enemies, and then after you clear out, you gotta come back days later and deliver wood and stuff like that. It's
they got Link doing everything, dude.
Yeah, doing all the work.
Which reminds me, like in Elden Ring, what's a particular memory you have of the game? Like something that is just burned on your mind's eye when it comes to the game.
Oh,
like an experience, like you did something and it was like super. Because I feel like that's what a lot of people like talking about for Elden Ring, as far as
well, it's rewarding in a way. Like it could be with any boss that you could get stuck on for a while, and then you finally learn how to beat them, and then like you feel good when you finally beat a boss because it's like earned. It's like hard earned victory. You know, it doesn't like some like you can cheese it, but like if you beat the boss without cheesing it and you like learn how to fight it and actually learn how to beat it, like it's very rewarding in a sense. Because like you're like, I did that, you know, I earned that win. That was all me. I would say like there's a lot of those type of situations. There's a lot of very frustrating situations. Like there's some like there's in this one specific area I want to ruin it for you if you're gonna play the game. There's these enemies with aimbot, and it will piss you off.
No way.
Like these are the most accurate archers you will ever see. There are like
I know you're talking about
Halo 2 jackals in that one mission, like in Legendary, where like as soon as they would see you, boom, headshot type of shit. Yeah, they're that frustrating. But once you get past that area, you're like, I don't ever want to go back there again. But then like you go back as a higher level, and it doesn't matter. But as a low level is usually where you find that area, and my goodness, you're running for your life the entire time. But again, like if you like clear that area out as a low level, like again, it still feels very rewarding because you're like, these sons of bitches, I finally got them. I got them. Like after everything they did, I got them.
Yeah, that is like definitely the best feeling when you're playing Elden Ring, especially you get spanked and then you come back to an area and it's just like, I'm back to get my vengeance.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing that right now with the DLC.
Yeah,
they're coming back with like DLC gear and DLC abilities.
The DLC abilities, yeah, and coming back to get
they're
revenge.
Going back to fight Millennia.
Yeah, dude.
Kicking her ass.
Guess what? Pop! Yeah. But now there's like a new, big boss in town.
Yeah, there's worse bosses than her in the DLC from what I hear.
Yeah. Apparently there's like even like a Bloodborne enemy that like everybody hated that they put in the game, which I thought was really, really good, a really good touch. Apparently it just kills you, like it looks at you, it grabs you, and you just die.
You just die. The changing the subjects a tad bit, like so who's buying Dragon Ball Z Sparking when it comes out? Besides me.
I'm definitely gonna be getting it.
I might be getting it. I haven't decided yet, but it's probably like a 80% chance I'm gonna get it.
It looks so badass. Oh my god.
Did y'all play the Budokais or the Tenkaichis back in the day?
Yeah, I played the Budokai.
But just the Budokai, but not the Tenkaichi ones?
No, I never played the Tenkaichis. And like I didn't even own it. Like I borrowed it from a friend. But it was fun.
Bro,
I can't wait. I can't wait. Dude, so like the way, oh my gosh, the way like the power-ups look and like blasting and getting me able to like destroy an arena and then move along, just as like classic, perfect. It looks good, I think. But it's hopefully it doesn't suck, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be like all glitchy and crap. You just watch like you'd be able to block all the attacks with like Mr. Satan or whatever.
Well, I've seen the Mr. Satan like clips. They look awesome.
Yeah, they do.
Have you seen like they made a One Punch Man game? And
no, what?
Like some of the mechanics of Mr. Satan remind me of that game. Because in that game, like, let's say you're fighting One Punch Man and you basically just gotta do it on a timer, or you're fighting an enemy that you're way too weak, that you're not really doing any damage to, and you're waiting for the timer for One Punch Man to show up. Like,
no way.
I don't know if you've seen the anime One Punch
Man. Oh
yeah.
I think I saw that on the game. Yeah.
There's a character
did that work
in
well
that
though?
anime that has like a lot of luck. I guess maybe that's
the bicycle guy.
No one knows what his power. Huh?
The bicycle guy, Human Rider.
No, King.
Oh, King. Oh, yeah. That's right.
If you're fighting as King, you're basically waiting for the timer to like bring out One Punch Man to like one punch the boss.
Oh my gosh.
And that's how you win. Basically, you just gotta survive until that timer runs out.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm guessing that's how they're gonna do Mr. Satan.
Yeah, because he's supposed to like Boo is supposed to help him.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Oh my god, that's funny. I can't wait for that game, man. It's gonna be so good.
I think it looks
I
good.
don't know if I have
ever
co-op, but I know the
watch-
multiplayer will be sick.
Being able to do
Did you ever
Super
watch
Saiyan.
that
Go ahead.
anime that came out? The last work that came out, I think, is Sandland. Even the game came out about it.
We've talked about it. I haven't watched it yet. I
Haven't
haven't had
watched
a
it.
chance. I've been busy with Kaiju number 8 and rewatching Konosuba.
No, it's pretty good. It's more in style with Dragon Ball than anything else.
How so? Like, if you don't mind, like, what do you mean, like the humor, the story? Like,
Yeah,
what-
the humor, the style, kind of like the storylines a little bit. Like there's more
Mhm.
goofiness in it than Dragon Ball Z. You know, if you like Dragon Ball, it'll remind you of Dragon Ball.
Oh, I'm sold.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
that's
it's on
true.
my list of things to watch, anyways. But yeah, I mean, I loved the original Dragon Ball. And I think that actually the manga of the original Dragon Ball, I feel like is much better than Dragon Ball Z as a story and a voice. It's
Yeah.
really funny.
It's definitely more story. There's more story to Dragon Ball too, right? I mean, just like development.
Well, yeah,
I guess, right?
a little bit. Yeah, it was
Like character
there was more
development,
story
maybe.
than fighting. To be honest,
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
there was more
one
about the story, about finding it, and like the way that they solve
Huh?
problems, in hilarious ways, and
Oh,
Master Roshi
Um,
just being a
pause,
straight up
guys.
perv.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Or keep talking. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And then Krillin also being a perv. And that's how he
Yeah.
got Master Roshi
Oh
to
my-
train him. And then Silly also being a perv. No, just kidding.
Silly also being a perv.
So it's not as he left.
Oh my god.
Just I'm calling out pervs. But yeah, no, like I was rewatching Dragon Ball. Like after he passed away and all that. I was in my feelings.
Yeah, man.
And then I was rewatching it, and oh man, that shit was hilarious. I can't rewatching the tournament, like the first tournament. I was laughing my ass off the entire time
Yes, awesome, dude.
because there was a scene where he was fighting Master Roshi, but I forgot.
Oh, the masked like person that was Master
he was
Roshi.
like yeah, but I think he was like something like Jackie Chung or something like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a
Oh, he
homage
wasn't
to
masked. He
Jackie
was just
Chan.
like disguised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name was Jackie Chun, Chung or something like that, and he was fighting Krillin at first, and then they had a move that was super fast and no one could see, and then the announcer was like, "Hey, can you tell us what happened there?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we can reenact it." He's like, "Okay, pick me up," and then like walk me. Like, so he's walking. They're like reenacting everything in slow motion. And like they did so much shit in like that 1 second.
Oh
And
my
the
gosh.
reenactment was so long. I could
So
not
long.
stop laughing.
Oh gosh, that's great.
And like thinking about it, like, oh man, that's something Dragon Ball Z is missing. It was missing some of like the comedy that Dragon Ball used to have. And Dragon Ball had a lot of comedy.
You're right. It did have a lot of comedy, and I think it got like it ended up getting like kind of mature or serious with the fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden it just was like, yeah. Not all of a sudden, but like Goku grew
But a lot
up.
of it was about the fighting.
Yeah, but a lot
it
of it was
became more
the
about
fighting. Yeah.
the next enemy, the next
Yeah.
power level.
Earth's greatest warriors.
Yeah.
It becomes something different. You're right. It becomes something different after Dragon Ball Z, and then you get to GT, and then Super, and it's
hate
totally
it,
different.
that
now.
it like it's definitely cool. It's really cool, but like I can see how people would think like, oh, the stories get old because now it's just repeating. Like there was like no goal for the characters besides fighting the next strongest person,
Right. And then once it was time of peace, there was nothing going on, and then you're just time skipping years, and all of a sudden Gohan's grown up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But even like in Dragon Ball Z, like at least the Gohan story was still more reminiscent of the Dragon Ball. Like when he was Mr. Saiyan Man,
Yeah.
he
True.
had a storyline going.
True. So true. That's so true. And I remember reading somewhere that they're trying to like redo like some of that Dragon Ball stuff with Gohan, but it didn't really like super pan out. They're just trying to do that for the American audience, but it ended up being something different.
Yeah, cause like you thought that Gohan was gonna basically take over and all that, but he kind of just got
Buddy, he is now. Buddy,
Yeah.
he is now though. After the last movie with Gohan, oh my god, dude, I'm pretty sure he's the strongest by like
but like,
by like a significant level.
But yeah, he was supposed to be that like after Z, you know, because like
Right, he was supposed to stay that. You're right.
Yeah, and then he kind of got thrown to the wayside.
You know,
And
what I
just
hope
became
is that
lame.
because like right now with like with the Gohan's latest like beast mode transformation, which was honestly epic. Like they have a chance to like give Gohan like, you know, that strongest like character thing that we all kind of expected already. Because like I don't think I want to see Goku as the strongest, even though he's like the, you know, like the protagonist. Like I think it'd be really interesting to see his son, because then it's like you get to be like, well, why is he so strong? Is it because of his training? Is it because of this or that? His adopted dad? Or is it because of like his mom? Like in her, like his mom was like, she's such a strong person, you know? And it could be like all of the above, you know what I'm saying? Like his mom, Piccolo, and his training, and like, you know, being trained around all of these like awesome fighters. And then he's just like, you know, the person who was just like perfectly, you know, designed to become like the most strongest ever of all the universes, you know what I'm saying? And here you go, Beast Gohan, like, you know, super strong or whatever. Because that movie was awesome, dude. I rewatched that movie because like that moment was so cool. Just like to watch Gohan like become like super powerful, and he becomes like One Punch Man a little bit, dude. You just kind of tell. He's just like, I'm so strong.
I gotta see that movie. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh man, dude, it was so fun, man. I loved it. I think it was just like a little bit. It looks like weird because like I think the way that they animated the movie was like a little bit different. But
It's like CG.
yeah, and there's some characters that like you see like the characters that are like the Red Ribbon Army characters, like these androids. You look at them from like afar and they kind of look super cheesy, but then you get to know them in a movie and they kind of make sense and like they're kind of cool. And yeah, throughout the movie, at the end of the movie, you don't. They're not. I thought I was gonna be annoyed by them, but I wasn't so much at the end of it.
Yeah.
I just put it like that.
Yeah, the animation kind of threw me off a bit. I wasn't a big fan of it when I first saw it. Not a big fan of the CG anime.
It is one of those movies where like I'm trying not to spoil anything here, but like the way that the power level, like the way they increase the power level, it kind of feels like the Destiny increase of the light level. You know what I'm saying? Where like, you know, you may like the last season, you may have grinded your way to like the tippity top of the light level, and your buddies were all like 50 light levels below. But now the new update just hit, and now everybody is like 10 light levels above now. You know what I'm saying? Because the new update just dropped all the new light armor that's like higher light level now, right? And like that's kind of what it feels like what happened like with like a lot of characters. It's just like, okay, so like we gave everybody a good bump up. Like everybody's light level went up right now because like Goku and Vegeta don't feel like they're like astronomically different from everybody else anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happened at the end of Z, right? And like beginning of Super, it's just like they're so much stronger than everybody else. Everybody else is really there, just kind of like hold the line for like the super powerful dudes to come in and save the day, which is like more likely
everybody
not
became
Goku
Yamcha, essentially.
Yeah, everybody became Yamcha. Yes, it's so
like,
funny.
When you look at Yamcha in Dragon Ball, like he was a badass. Like he was a badass. Like in Dragon Ball,
he was a badass.
He was a nemesis like for a while.
Right, he was and then he got spanked by the Saiyans, and then after that, everyone's just like, "Oh, he's a bitch."
he got spanked by Bulma, and then he became good.
Oh yes,
because they started dating.
Oh my god, that's so funny. All right, where does Silly go?
Vegeta came along and stole his girl.
Oh my god, yes, dude. She was like, "You're a prince? Okay." Okay, Vegeta. Oh yeah, dude. Vegeta straight up just moved in, dude. Like he literally spanked Yamcha and stole his girl. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't let that happen. Can't let that happen.
I remember watching DBZ when Trunks comes around, and he's just like, Bulma, I'm your son in the future. Oh, and it's just like, wow. And then who's the dad? It's like Vegeta. I was like, no. No. But Yamcha, and Yamcha's there. No, Vegeta, what did you do? And then like time goes on, and it's just like, but of course.
Oh.
But of course. Like, but of course. What were we expecting? What were we expecting?
Dude moved in, like, yeah.
Yes.
He's already at the house all the time, training.
Yes.
It only took one fight between her and Yamcha to
oh my. Yes, dude. Yes. And then what was Yamcha gonna say? Oh my gosh, dude. No, that's actually like sucks for Yamcha.
Yeah. Even like
Yamcha ended up marrying his cat.
He stays single basically the entire time.
No, he's like, married to his cat. Right? That blue cat, that's his wife.
No, it's not.
I'm just kidding. But that's his significant other.
I was gonna say, like, I was like, Krillin like got Android.
Krillin got Android 18, dog.
18. Yes.
Excuse me, Krillin freaking did the most work out there, buddy. What?
Yeah.
What?
That's his reward for dying so many times. So, like, come on, like, that poor guy. Poor guy died how many times?
Oh, he was given the hottest android of them all.
Exactly.
Oh, his daughter's the cutest too. He makes such a great dad too, with the beard and everything, like the mustache.
I did like his storyline in Super though, like where he became a cop, you know?
Yeah.
And he was trying to do things like a normal.
He would be the strongest cop. He would be.
Dude,
he would catch every criminal. He's the
strongest human. He's the strongest human.
He's the strongest human. Yeah, of course. He would no criminal would be able to get away from him. Like I'm pretty sure he can like stop, not stop bullets, but dodge him at least.
Well, no, I don't think that would hurt him, to be honest.
To be honest, you're right. I don't think that would hurt him. To be honest, you're right.
No,
you're right.
It wouldn't. Like
you're right. They would just bounce off him. You're probably right. Actually, his power level is actually high enough for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure
if he can take a punch from Cell, like I think he can take a bullet.
Yes, you're right. I think it's safe to say that Krillin's power level is like at this point like that of a regular Super Saiyan. You know, like he ended up getting pretty strong. You know, like I think he ended up getting really that strong. It's just not hard. It's hard to see
he sparred with Goku when Goku went Super Saiyan. I think Red. Like his Super Saiyan God, right? And he was sparring with.
You're right, dude. Yeah, you're right, dude. And you know, for the humans too, like you have Master Roshi, and he went ham in the tournament of the Galactic Dimensional. Yeah. Like he went hard, dude. Like he was not a weak man. Like he's old and everything. He's only gotten older, but like he is literally not a weak man. He's literally like so strong. And I don't think he's gotten older, but I don't think he's actually aged like physically. He stayed the same old man that he was that we've met him from Dragon Ball. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he kind of cheats. Remember, he has that deal with his sister, and that's how he kind of lives forever.
Oh, right. His sister's that witch.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Baba.
Yeah. So he's got something special to him too. You're right. But yeah, man, I think, man, I was so sad to see. What's his name? The dude from the creator of Dragon Ball die. Pero I think it was already like Dragon Ball's
Akira Toriyama.
Yeah, I think it was out of his hands already now. I think he had let go like the writing of it. It was only just kind of like involved. So hopefully, you know, it doesn't really affect too much of where the story is going to be going. But I do kind of hope that they wrap it up at some point and just like put like a pin in it and say this is where the story ends. Because I think Dragon Ball needs an actual end. For everybody to be satisfied and to call it like this is the end of Dragon Ball, you know. And I think it's really hard for any company to want to say that this is the end of our story. Like we're gonna just stop making money with this IP after this. But honestly, I think like I don't know, like you can't like what are they gonna do after like defeating the gods and defeating like all the interdimensional things? What else is left? You know what I'm saying? Like the only thing that's left is just like fighting other anime characters.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs like a goodbye.
Yeah.
Story.
I haven't finished reading I'm back, by the way. I haven't finished reading the Granola arc, but I will say like after the Tournament of Power, like the two enemies that they fight are very interesting. Like one of them is they're kind of mirror images of each other. So like you have like what's his name? Moro is kind of like a mirror image of Goku. And then
Okay.
like Granola is more of a mirror image of Vegeta, or not mirror image, but like
oh yeah,
both those enemies kind
similar,
of like they really like they really challenge the character. Yeah, because
Gotcha.
Moro learns from different, like he learns and gains power by what is it, like sucking people's energies or something. While as Goku gets better by learning from different people,
Mm-hmm.
having different masters. And then Granola, who's very vengeful about his people, and then Vegeta carrying that culture and that. Again, I haven't finished the Granola arc, but I do know that in Moro, I think Goku develops Ultra Instinct better, and then in Granola, he develops more of a God of Destruction power, or Vegeta develops a God of Destruction power. But I'm with Ray. It's like it gets to a point where it's like, what else are you going to fight? Like these are great enemies because they challenge the characters, but you need an ending, and that's why I felt like when Dragon Ball ended back in the day, with even with GT, like
with GT, yeah,
it was we were done. Goku moved on. He said goodbye. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna go to heaven, and
He
I
left with
think even
Shenron, no?
DBZ
In
Bridge.
that one?
he leaves a Shenron, yeah, he leaves a
Yeah,
Shenron, yeah.
yeah,
And it was a good send up, but I think they have to do that again and give us that conflicting enemy that but like let it end there and make it good, make it everything, make it like, oh my god, like they all had to fight and they were all at the end and super powerful, and like this is the top fight, go hard with like the graphics and that's it, And then but like I was saying too earlier to John, it was like, man, I don't know though, like how a company's gonna want to let go of IP as big as Dragon Ball and just be like, we're not gonna make any more stories from here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
well, that's why they're making them chibi. It's like that's why they're making, like I'm positive that's gonna be fun.
You're right, dude. You're right. At least they're not doing what Star Wars did, because and that's something I wanted to mention in the pod. But like, man, ahorita Star Wars is in a bad place, dude.
Did you guys talk about the Acolyte?
No.
I haven't seen a single minute of the Acolyte, so if you guys want to,
I haven't seen a single minute either.
I haven't seen anything, but I'm scared to watch it, dude.
Me
like
too.
I'm scared to watch because it's like I don't want my taste in Star Wars to be ruined like anymore right now. Like it's like
not just that, it's the time, it's the commitment. Like
man, like it just feels
like
weird.
From the ads I seen, it really hasn't interested me, and that's the only reason why I haven't watched it. Like the storyline, like I'm not saying like I want the same old characters like we've always had, like because that shit's boring. But like they got so much to study, like I don't even know how this comes anywhere close to part of the timeline. Because like at least with Rogue One, like it kind of tied into the story and like told the story about the backstory of the Death Star and how they got the plans and all that. So that was nice.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I liked Solo. A lot of people didn't watch it because I guess they were protesting Star Wars at the time. But Solo was a good movie. It was a good
Solo
Star Wars
wasn't
movie.
that. Yeah. There's a couple weird things to it, but it was actually overall not that bad.
I'll have to give that a watch.
No, I would say it was good. It was a good Star Wars movie.
I'll have to check it out again.
Yeah, it's just
I did not have a good experience in the theaters, but that might be due to my own biases. But I'll have to rewatch.
Yeah, I think people were just protesting at the time, like all Star Wars, because they were mad about other movies that came out, or like the sequels,
or lack of
Rey.
Yeah.
No,
or that. Yeah, actually, that you're right. It was that. Yeah.
Yeah, because Solo came out around that same time, and people, I guess, were just fed up. But I would say Solo was a good one. Even Rogue One was a good one.
Even
Andor was a good storyline.
I heard. Yeah, I heard it was like had really good writing to it.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff about the Acolyte, and at the same time, I got on the other side too, saying like, no, they did it differently. They're not really messing with the one storyline, but people interpret things differently. You got ones that say no, they didn't really mess with the one storyline. The other ones are like, oh yes, they did, blah blah blah, and they're all mad.
I mean, it's just that like you have like people who are like, I mean, if you start watching the show, you just be like, man, did the writers even actually watch Star Wars though? Like, there's things that just kind of just like go down. It doesn't feel like Star Wars, like without ruining anything. Like, there's like there's times where like masters of the Force can't sense things, and it's just like no. Like what? This is a simple thing. You know, normally like a Jedi, what you know what I'm saying? And maybe you can kind of like roundabout like talk about these things, but then you have like a side character that's not even anything with the Force that like is somehow like better at like learning things that the Jedi do, and then like all of the now the Jedi don't even feel like from what I've seen and like the little bit that I've seen. It just makes it feel like the Jedis don't really feel like they're like that special. Let me put it like that. I don't know. And I don't know. I just have a hard time like wanting to watch anything with Star Wars when it's like, man, like I just want it to feel like epic again. And like it doesn't really feel, it just feels like they're just throwing content out the door just you know, just to make content for people to be happy about.
Thing,
and you know
well, the thing is the Jedi weren't all powerful either. Like, you got to remember that. You got to remember, like, when we're talking about, like, Palpatine coming into power, they couldn't sense Palpatine. They were, like, overconfident. They were overconfident in themselves and thought that the Sith were dead and gone throughout, you know, the time of
balance,
Palpatine.
My friend. Balance in the Force.
Yeah.
And, like, they were blinded by their own, like, I guess hubris, like thinking like they were
arrogant. Yeah, they were arrogant.
Yeah, they were very arrogant. And that's why, like, even when they were warned by others that like could see further, like that's what disillusioned Count Dooku as well.
Yeah, but it's not like Palpatine like just said like, oh, we're gonna do like a Sith versus Jedi war. Like Palpatine knew he couldn't just go one-on-one because they're. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that Jedi were at the height of their power as well. Like they were all these masters that were training like all the time and like always just bettering the craft. Like there were all these masters in the Force, and then like when they got killed, like it had to be in like the most.
You did feel that
it had to be in the most like underhanded way because you had to do it in a way where they would even know. Even these clones didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? And that's like like they had to be like so precise to like hide it from the Jedi because like the Jedi were that good. Like nobody had the attention against the Jedi. Not Palpatine, not the clones, on anybody. And the clones are specifically made that are like it's all like. You know what I'm saying? For the Jedi not to know what's going on in that case. Right now with the Acolyte, it's just like it feels like this is like just throwing in an extra story for Star Wars that like it doesn't need to be like there. You're just throwing in content right now. It's because it's like okay, like it feels like the time. It doesn't like okay. It's not like a big change in the timeline. I guess there could be always like people who are like dark force users like throughout the 1,000 years of peace or whatever, like whatever, right? They don't have to be exactly Sith or whatever, but dang, it's close enough to where it's just like wouldn't all of these characters remember like a bunch of Jedis being killed by a dark like a red lightsaber user? Like this is that would be a big deal in the Jedi Council. Like I don't know. It just kind of feels like this is kind of like the Halo Master Cheeks of Star Wars is what it feels like to me. It's like in the Star Wars universe, you know, this is we're gonna write the story is what it feels like. Because they even have like a Cheeks moment too in the show. Like the evil guy gets naked in front of the girl.
Do?
I mean, you don't see his butt, but like she's like checking him out while he's naked, like bathing himself or whatever. And it's just like, I don't think that needs to be in Star Wars, man. Like that's a little funny. That's so it felt so Master Cheek seeing that scene, dude.
You're trying to make a more adult Star Wars? Is that what you're saying?
It's not even adult, dude. It's really, just like that's not even adult. Like showing somebody naked doesn't mean like, oh, that's mature now. Ooh, it's for adults. Like no, edgy's for adults. That's his butt. Like dude, that's dumb.
Like, am I only thinking of House of Dragon right now? Game of Thrones, like Game of Thrones early on had like what I would say it had excessive nudity, like that didn't really need to be there. It didn't really like play into the story. Like,
it's like
I agree with you. A lot of shows have excessive nudity, and you're like, it doesn't need that.
Yes,
like it's not necessary. Like now you're just doing it for like. Now you're acting like some animes, like with fan service.
Oh, for real.
It's like it's the fan service of like people that don't watch anime.
Oh, it's so true. Ugh.
Like this House of the Dragon's been pretty tame for the most part with a lot of the sexuality and stuff like
Even
that.
with the gore too, it hasn't been as gory.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's some
like
good brutal scenes in
the
that.
last episode.
Yeah, but like,
Yes,
for example,
but
when
it's
they
not
killed the
excessive.
kid,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they didn't show it. You just heard the sound, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
That's actually more
It's
effective.
classy in my opinion. Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
It's way more effective as well.
I used the wrong word by saying classy. It's effective.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because now it lets your mind like make up
But
that
that is
scene.
Fill in
in
the
a
blank for
way
you,
classy. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you to fill up the blanks, which is worse actually. But what I was getting at is the last episode of House of the Dragon, and this was like back in like July 1st or something. There was a scene in particular that this guy gets up and he's just like completely full frontal. My wife and I were like, "Huh? Really?" Like it was.
This one's for the ladies.
Like it felt so out of place almost. Like, I mean, there's a purpose to the scene, and like once the scene passes, you're like, okay, I see why they did that. But it's like the show's been so tame that this one episode starts showing these things, and it's like, whoa, hello, what the hell? Where did that come from?
There's been a trend of more dong.
Yes. You know
Like,
what?
on
A lot of
TV.
Netflix
like
shows,
not just this show, but other shows too. Like,
dude, yes,
they've been exhibiting a lot more dong.
so true.
Like,
no, there's a lot.
I'm not
I feel
sure
like
what's going on.
I feel like a lot of Netflix shows they'll show like some tits and some peepees like at the beginning, and then never show it again. You know, just one of that like first like episode.
It's usually in the first 3 episodes. You know, to like.
Yep. To be like, yeah, we went there. Keep watching the show. It's gonna be suspenseful and whoa.
Release the dong.
Release the dong. He says softly, release the dong.
It's like, I guess when they're like brainstorming the episodes, like to see if like, oh, is this gonna be a Netflix hit? Like, you know what? I think it needs more dong. Like we got analytics that dong within the first 2 episodes will get people to stay watching the show.
It's like you bring Netflix this show about like the kid with his dog, and the Netflix executives are like, "Sir, this is a wonderful show. The writing's excellent, but we have one question: where is the penis?" Like, we're gonna have to incorporate the use of the penis in the first couple episodes.
Have you seen Barry?
You, random actor, would you be okay with
that?
Okay
with going
okay,
for, like
fine,
full dong? Yeah. Would you like to hang dong in this first episode, sir? Or you be
How about
willing to
the
pay an
dog?
extra $1 million
Right.
for your
Can we show the dog's dong? In the first
I know.
like,
All right. Before I have to like censor half of this.
well, you gotta censor it. We already kind of censored it. Like, it's not a.
I know it is uncensored.
It's not a bad
I'm
word
just,
though.
Just like no.
Is it?
No, dude. You know how bad it was though with Game of Thrones that like South Park even had to like make a song about it. Like they remixed the Game of Thrones intro into penis, 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 penis.
Yeah.
One
Oh, that's right.
penis next to another penis, penis, penis. It was literally, it was just
Amazing.
little dicks.
You gotta leave that song in. you gotta leave that rape part in.
Yeah, dude, it's South Park, dude. You gotta leave it in.
That's how you should start the podcast
penis, penis, penis.
With Ray singing.
One penis next to another penis.
All right. Speaking of booty cheeks, I started watching the Halo season 2.
What the is wrong with you?
And-
How? Yeah, I'm getting off.
Listen,
No.
That first
You can't
no.
probably
That
talk
first
shit
episode-
unless you've seen it. You know,
No,
I get
it's
it.
bad. It's bad.
The first episode, the first episode was actually good.
No, did he keep his helmet on?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, the first part of the show, yes. And the funny thing is, that was like the most Halo I've ever seen the show. Like, it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, they finally made it to Halo,
phenomenal.
didn't they?
It was everything. Like, yeah, and then like they have multiple characters wearing the helmet, and they all like you feel what they feel. And I'm just like, man, these guys just keep shooting themselves in the foot. It's like, we need to show the face. Yeah, well, the first like 15, 20 minutes is like perfect Halo with masks and like just brooding, and you get it. And then they take off the mask, and it's still fine. Like, even without the mask, I was like, I can believe it because they're not in combat. And in the books, when they're not in combat, they're not wearing the armor. I totally get it. When they're in combat, don't take off the fucking armor. And it's been working so far.
Please don't tell me they're ever gonna have a
Johnny Boy,
fight scene without the armor on. That would be like the dumb.
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. I've only watched 2 episodes.
It's like, we don't need to see tactical. I want to see them in their armor all the time. Even when they're eating and pooping. Put the armor on, damn it. This is Halo we're talking about.
Like, Johnny Boy, I'm assuming you've watched...
watch season 1. I haven't watched season 2 yet.
Okay. First, no joke, if you're going to watch anything, just watch the first part of the first episode. You'll know, like, once you start watching it, you'll know exactly what I mean.
Look.
That was fantastic.
Let me just say,
I loved it.
I like
and I hate
the
myself.
Knuckles show on Paramount more than like season 1 of Halo.
Ooh.
Dude, but that's funny.
That's a funny show. That's a good show.
That Knuckles show is funny.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Dang,
like,
dude.
I was very happily surprised about that Knuckles show.
Like, Idris Elba is
he knocks it out of the park.
my Knuckles
like,
voice.
In comedy, like, it kind of reminded me with him being in The Office a little bit, because like he did well first time there, even though he was kind of not a likable character, but he was supposed to be like an opposing force to some of the characters there.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's memorable enough that you actually remember he's in The Office.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I don't remember in The Office.
Did Luis send us a message?
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, he did. Well, I mean, I only have...
I have a 4 GT in this game. Let's go. I got the Mustang, baby. What? Sorry.
Perfect. I was literally about to ask you about that. So, what made you want to like stream or start streaming racing games?
Well, to begin, well, honestly, dude, like, I've always like I like racing games. I like to play the racing games here and there, and I guess like while I was scrolling TikTok, I'm not gonna lie, I started seeing some Sims, and I was like, some Sim setups, and I was like, actually, these things are like probably in a really good place right now. This could be the perfect opportunity for me to get into like actual sim racing now. You know, looking into it, like, yeah, you can spend a ton of money on a setup, but to actually get started doing it, man, like, you just need the wheel to, like, you know, really, like, you know, and then like the right simulator game. And like, honestly, dude, like, seeing setups online and seeing what people are doing, and like me driving all the time and like wanting just to like rip it on the road, because like, honestly, drive like 10 hours sometimes a day. But I just want to go so fast sometimes on the road, dude. I just got that itch, dude. It's a miracle that I've only been pulled over once in my life. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's actually a miracle.
It's pretty impressive.
I know. And so, you know, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I think it's time that I like pull the trigger on these simulator races. And plus, like, it'll get me to like start streaming a little bit more, because it's like a perfect thing to stream. And just like, because it's I have my screens open, I can chat, and I can look at everything. It's just kind of hard to like text and you know, retext and drive.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
Text and drive,
especially when you're going like 150. But man, like, this is honestly like, it's so freaking cool, and like the inner kid inside of me is like giggling, like, baby, dude. So like earlier today, I was playing on Forza, and like I have this little Beetle BMW thing that like is supposedly only supposed to have like 150 horsepower. For whatever reason, when I bought it from the game store, like, you know, using the game currency or whatever, I got one that was 800 and something horsepower, so this thing rips, dude. And
was it the one you were using yesterday? The little red one?
Yes, the little red thing.
Oh
dude,
yeah, that thing was
dude.
lifting off the ground, like when you were accelerating. Like it had like 3 wheels and it was like popping wheelies.
It was popping wheelies, dude. And like I played it today and I realized, dude, that I had the traction. I had messed up all the traction settings for myself to try to drift, and so I had to I fixed it, and I was like, I can finally drive this stupid car. Dude, that stupid little beetle thing goes 200 miles per hour. So like, it's disgusting.
God damn.
But it was so much fun to be driving it and not like on a joystick, like actually like holding the wheel and it feeling the like the road, because like it was so cool, like you know, like because you're Forza 5, for example, is in Mexico, right? So as soon as you drive off the road, you're like driving on like the gravel and the dirt, and the wheel just starts going. You're just like, oh my god, like I'm off road. Oh, dude, it is such a fun feeling, man. But I've always kind of thought, I've always had this question on myself, like how good could I actually get like going around a track if I actually tried, if I actually dedicated myself to like, you know, like doing a track, picking a car, doing a track, doing it over and over and over and over. Like how good can I actually do it? You know what I'm saying? Like I've always been curious, because like I've played a lot of racing games in the past. But they're always like the fun arcadey races. The only real simulator-ish one was Gran Turismo that I played, right? But I played always the Need for Speeds. I think the one I played the most in the past was Burnout Paradise. Let's see. I played a lot of...
Did you ever play Midnight Club?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
I love that game.
Dude,
I love that game so much.
I might even download The Crew too. Because my brother-in-law Trey was saying, like, dude, like the Crew's got a sick mode. It's like Burnout Paradise. It's like open world or whatever, and like all these like good cars to race and damage and everything in the cars. I'm like, ooh, that sounds awesome. But like I've always like wondered like how good can I actually get? Because like I even played like racing games on the Wii back when, like, you know, you use like the motion controllers or whatever, and that was a gimmick. But it was fun because you would turn the Wii controller and it would turn the car wheel, right? So that was like the first I ever really had that, like, getting that simulated feel, but it was only a gimmick, right? In my opinion, right? It was never like a good, real one-to-one thing, right? Now I'm like, this is nuts, dude. This feels like so one-to-one with like a road. Like the only thing I'm not feeling is like the G-force. Like this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to brake right. Like if you're not braking, you're definitely sliding, and obviously right with the racing games. But it's just like using the wheel and using something that has so much feedback to it, it just feels so good, dude. So I'm curious how good I can actually get. Because I always talk a lot of crap and being like, man, I'm a great driver. I can drive so fast. I can do this. I can do that. But I wonder how good I can actually get at, like, you know, doing the simulated thing. I mean, obviously, if I ever did it in the real world, like, it's a different experience. Because like if you're driving fast and you feel those G's on you, dude, like it's scary. You know what I'm saying? When you're like you about to hit a turn and you're going like 80. You know what I'm saying? Like most people are gonna hit the brakes real hard and not try to do that. You know. So it's fun, man. It really is kind of scratching that itch, scratching that itch of like wanting to drive, like, you know, like fast. You know, I can just sit here and be like, this actually feels like cool, and like hearing the cars of like, man, this is cool.
Okay, that's cool, dude. And I was watching a little bit yesterday, and first thing I see is you going through a tree. It's hilarious. I'm like, oh boy, it's gonna be one of these.
Yeah, dude, it really was, dude. Like I said, I did not know that traction control and all these things were turned off. And then I look at it and I'm like, it's a traction control, this anti-brake lock system 0. I'm like, oh F, dude, I was just like driving, like raw dogging this engine, dude.
I saw Silly's message. No damage?
I know. You know why Forza doesn't do damage? Because the car automakers don't want to see their awesome, beautiful cars like with damage. Like they would think it'd be a battle.
That's true. Yeah.
Like you wrapped around the tree. Like
they don't have. That's why the Burnout games don't have, like, if I remember correctly, the Burnout games don't have like Toyota or Mazda.
I don't think so.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because then they could, you know, destroy the
exactly. And I think Burnout, the Crew too, I think it has like fake car manufacturers too. I think because I heard you can do damage in that, but I gotta find out because I want to know. I want to know.
Well, it makes sense. They don't want to see their cars like wrapped around the tree. Like,
yeah, that's bad marketing.
Oh, so I gotta tell you,
like, man,
I gotta tell you,
Mazda suck, man.
I gotta tell you, you guys. So I was between a racing simulator and a flying simulator because flying games are the other type of games that I play a lot of. That like, well, all of a sudden I'll just pick up a flying game and just like play it a ton. So
well, the flight simulator on Xbox. If you have Game Pass, you can get that.
Yes, so I did, and dude, I downloaded the Dune thing because it's on there for free. Anybody can go and download it. You can fly the ornithopter from the butterfly, the dragonfly helicopter from Dune. Dude, it's so cool, dude. Oh, it's so freaking cool, right? And I was like, man, I kind of want to get a joystick. I want to get the HOTAS, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to get one of those things and like start flying, and this would be cool. I can do it with Dash. She can like play with me because she can like, you know, once I get her in the air, she can move it around and she can play with me. And I was like, this would be really great. And I started thinking about it, but I was like, but racing sim. And my wife was like, are you seriously going to come home from driving 12 hours, come home and sit down on another wheel and drive a racing game? I was like, I've done this before. This is not the first time I've done that. In fact, the first time I drove to JBU, the first time I drove like 10 hours plus by myself, I stopped at a hotel and I was currently playing, I forget what Need for Speed game, but I had this awesome black Camaro that I was working on souping up, dude, and I just had to play some more. So I get to my hotel, plug my PS3 in, and I play some Need for Speed, dude. After driving 10 hours, dude, I did that, all right? So I'm definitely going to be driving after driving for 12 hours. Catch me on stream just being like, my eyes.
Let's 5 Red Bulls in.
5 Red Bulls, dude, easy. Easy. Like a true driver, brother. Oh my, but honestly, dude, driving that long, man, like I've only gotten used to it, man. Like I didn't think I would ever get used to driving like 12 hours, man. But like I got used to it at this point.
Dude, I can't drive 2 without almost falling asleep.
Oh,
like, I don't know how you do it.
Dog, I had to drive 3 hours just to get to the place where I'm gonna be working.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I can't do. I don't know how you have the stamina, man. Like shit.
Yeah, no, I don't know how either, but it ended up happening, and I'm thankful for it because if not, this job would be a lot harder, dude. Oh my god. Yeah.
Dude,
I clocked in. I don't think I told you, Johnny, but I told Silly. I clocked in almost 62 hours last week, and I pretty much drove all of that like by myself last week, or sorry, like almost 2 weeks ago. Yeah, like. Yeah, we pushed hard, dude.
Damn.
Like thankfully I made like a lot of overtime. It was a lot of overtime, which is awesome. But like, dude, that was like the most I've ever like clocked in on my life for like a job, dude.
So you paying for our Vegas trip?
I got it, buddy. I'm gonna put that on the debit card, buddy.
She is sponsored by Master Rein, man. Woo! Sadly, guys, as much as I want to keep going, I gotta go. I am glad we got back into it. This was a really nice just shoot the shiz episode.
It was.
Anyway, thank you, Master Rein. Thank you, Johnny-Boy. And you know, we'll do another one real soon with either another gift of the gab or maybe just
we'll pick a topic or something.
Helldivers, Diablo. Yeah, watch Halo. Review that. Anyway, if you like this podcast, go give us a follow on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Podcasts. I just found out that Google Podcasts is no longer a thing. It'll be YouTube now. So that's where that's all
RIP Google Podcasts.
Yeah, all those episodes have been linked to our YouTube account. And even though I've already have like episodes, like our visual podcasts there, you can also see them as audio clips now. So there's no excuse, for not listening to our pod. Thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate y'all. And remember, never stop reviving. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.